Once again, black tea. I actually fucking blended these two. I got the Nepal Black which is really nice, from David's Tea, and I put a sprinkle of their pistachio ice cream for a little bit of flavor in there, because the black tea, this is the second steep, so I wanted to give it a little bit more. But let's talk about some cool shit. The idea of the middle ground in fitness. So when we think about fitness and movement, or your movement, or whatever, we can think about it in terms of everything else in life, as a duality, right? Or ends of a pendulum, or a gas gauge meter, whatever you want to talk about. Everything in life comes into this idea of a duality: hot and cold, light and dark, happy, sad, good and bad, all of that kind of shit, which fucking sounds like a sick rhyme. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, the extreme end of one spectrum would be a power lifter, right? Very stiff, very strong, very stable, but doesn't have great movement. They can be very immobile. If you look at the greatest power lifters in the world, they're not very graceful, but they're fucking strong. Then you look at the opposite end of the spectrum, and we could think of a very classical yogi, very lithe of build, very thin, very, very bendy, but they don't have a lot of stability, and they don't have a lot of strength, and they're very wispy, right, with their movement. So those are the opposite ends of the spectrum that I'm talking about. Now, when we're talking about regular, everyday people, we have to try to get them, like you're probably an everyday person, we have to try to meet the demands of your everyday life. So, with that being said, most people should probably be shooting for the middle ground of that pendulum. Not the powerlifter, not the super bendy yogi, something that's in between, meaning the gray area. There's this idea in Star Wars of a gray Jedi, someone who isn't quite all the way over to the light, like a Qui-Gon Jinn or a Luke Skywalker, but isn't all the way over to the other side, like a Darth Vader or a Darth Maul or the Emperor, right? They play within the middle ground. They see both sides of things, and they work with the light and the dark. They balance the yin and the yang. Very philosophical shit. I fucking dig Star Wars. And this is what we're talking about, is essentially turning you into a gray zone Jedi, right? The middle ground in fitness. That's what I strive for with people, because I train and work with everyday people to make you move, look, and think your best. So that would mean looking at how the joints move. Are they in an acceptable range of motion? Are you too stiff? Well, if you're too stiff, we need to get it into an acceptable range of motion to make sure that your shoulders, your hips, and your spine move enough to be able to walk, run, throw, step up, pick up shit, and get through your daily life well. Or if you're too bendy, can we make sure that your mobility matches up to your bendiness? Can you move yourself well? Can you stabilize well? And can you develop some strength to help bring your pendulum back closer to the middle zone? So it's about finding the middle ground, and that's what part of the assessment is that I take people through, is finding out where you're weak, where you're strong, where your strengths lie, where your weaknesses lie, and where you're too stiff, where you're too bendy, and to create a program that helps you move like a fucking panther. That's the goal, right? Kind of springy, with a little bit of like mobility to you, purpose of movement, improving your posture, improving your breathing, improving your pushing, your pulling from these standing positions that you do every day, man. That's the fucking goal. So with that in mind, you could start thinking about that, is why are you training? If you're not an athlete, don't follow athletic programs. If you don't want to just be this extreme yogi, because see, there are dangers inherent with any form of training. If you're lifting really, really heavy, the compressive loads, the shear force on joints and all that stuff can be really damaging to you if it's really, really heavy. And if you're an athlete or if you're a competitive powerlifter, no one said sports were safe. You understand the risks. The same could be said for yoga. Why the fuck are you taking an Ashtanga class and bending your fucking legs behind your head, or having someone adjust you, push you into a further position? It's fucking ridiculous. You never need to be able to touch your head all the way through your legs in regular life, and the extreme ranges of motion could be detrimental on you in the future. You need to understand what you're doing with your body and why you're doing it. So play within the gray zone, make sure that you have acceptable ranges of motion, make sure that you try to bring your pendulum back somewhere along the middle to make sure that you're springy and mobile and supple, and you'll be fucking rocking and rolling. At least That's my fucking opinion on this shit. Fitness for the everyday person. Risk versus reward. Thanks for listening to me ramble. So I'm out here in Kensington. I'm gonna go to the butcher shop where it's all like local Ontario meat and that kind of thing, locally sourced.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm gonna grab myself some steaks or something for tonight, maybe some bone broth, because they make some dope fucking bone broth. And I'll show you some of that. This place is the shit, and I really like it. Off now to go train a few people, maybe, because the weather is a fucking disaster outside, so we'll see how it goes. So that weather fucking sucked. I mean, okay, it wasn't the worst. It's just mostly like slush and goop outside. So after that, I'm in here in the sauna. I just got in, so I'm not even sweaty yet. But there's a lot of benefits to heat shock proteins and heat exposure and the benefits of saunas. And I would make an ass of myself if I tried to go into detail right now as to why. But Dr. Rhonda Patrick of Found My Fitness has a lot of great information on why a sauna is so beneficial, like in reducing all-cause mortality, in improving cardiovascular health, reducing inflammation, boosting mood, getting like almost like a runner's high afterwards. So if you've got the sauna cranked up at about like 90 or so, and you hang out in here about 20 minutes 3 times a week or so, you can experience a lot of the positive benefits from it. But it's fucking warm, I'll tell you that much. Like, it's warm. So yeah, I'm gonna fucking chill out and hang out in this like sauna after all that fucking nasty shit outside. So 20 minutes is just about up. I'm in my little grocer now. I like to spend some time in here and meditate. I'll do meditation throughout the day, whether it's walking or standing, seated, but this is a good time to do it because it's quiet and usually I'm undisturbed. And even if somebody else is in here, and the people in our building are so fucking annoying, which is great if I'm trying to improve my ability to meditate and be in situations that I don't particularly like, which happen every single day. So being there and with the sensations and with the moment and in the moment, even if it's something that you don't find comfortable. So when there's people in here and they're being loud and annoying and they fucking talk, and we've got these weirdos who like to do like the worst pseudo form of yoga in here, and they read books and they have like a little fucking meetup club. But whatever. It's distracting. So sometimes I can use that to my advantage while I'm meditating and trying to be here and present and not being like, fuck, these people are annoying, man, they're driving me crazy. But I got lucky today. It's fucking empty. And it's just me. And I'm all done. And I think I'm gonna go upstairs, get some water, fucking chill out, maybe play some Xbox. Something irresponsible, you know. Yeah.